want to hear that. Welcome to Soscast, baby, where finance meets romance, sexiest financial podcast on the planet, only here on Valuetainment, the #1 channel in the world for entrepreneurs. My name is Adam Sosnick. You could call me Soz, and we are here to help you guys and ladies out there get paid, laid, and do it your way. Want to get some feedback real quick. We know that my intro, the bumper, happens real quick. We're in, we're out. We don't really focus too much on the bumper because we're more focusing on the content and helping you guys out there. But I'm working on a song. It's a remix of a song, All We Talk Is Money. We're not going to get any copyright strikes because I own the song, right? I want to get your guys' perspective on this new song. Love it, hate it, want it, remix it. You guys let me know. If I play this, will they hear this in the mic loudly?
I think so, yeah.
All right, we'll see. Real quick, I'm pulling that up. Nat, let the people know what to do while we're pulling everything up real quick.
Yes, awesome. Well, happy Thursday.
Yeah.
I almost thought it was Friday.
That's right.
Happy Thursday, Soscast Day. Thank you all for tuning in today. Of course, you guys already know. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, because we got a lot of stuff going on. And today is going to be very, very interesting with the topics we're covering. And I'm super excited. So let's get this party started. I think we also got Miss Kelly Kell in the building.
Oh,
Kelly
hey-o.
Kell. Kelly Kell is here watching the chat as well. I'll be reading your chats. So give us some good chats, questions, and all that. And let's get this party started.
Yeah, here we go. This is a little preview.
Yes.
Don't judge us. We appreciate you guys out there. Shout out. Let us know what city you're at watching this right now. Put that in the comments. Wildest city, we're sending Nat there to go visit you. Let us know.
You're sending me.
Yeah, we're putting you on a plane.
Oh, no.
Here's a song for you guys. It's the Soscast, baby. Here we go.
It's the Soscast, baby. Spell it out, SOS. All we talk is money, honey. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees to the honey. We have no money talks. Well, Sauce does too. About that very money that be speaking to you. Sauce talks money. Yeah, that's what we talk. Level up your game and keep them honeys flocking. It's the Soscast, baby. Spell it out, SOS. What's the future so bright? You get your hippie blast. All we talk is money, honey. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees to the honey. Honey, money, honey, money, honey. It's the Soscast, baby.
I like that.
Shout out to my boys creating that right now. It's not official yet. We got some work to do.
Yes.
But
I like
just like
it.
all of us, it's not official, but we got work to do. Okay?
Good answer.
There we go right there. Let me know your comments on the song. We're working hard over here.
Yes, we are.
She worked hard for the money. Remember that song? She
No.
worked hard for the money. Anyway, this is where finance meets romance. Sometimes we're talking a little bit more money. Sometimes we're talking a little bit more romance, dating, relationships, intersexual dynamics, what's going out there in the world over there. Lot going on today. What are we covering today? What word offends women the most and what word may offend some men? We're covering that. The latest with Tiger Woods' saga getting a shakedown, blackmailed $30 million, not from his ex-wife. We know she had to pay him. He had to pay her $100 million when they got divorced. Now this is only $30 million. So we're going to talk about that. Chris Rock still out there talking about women, men, the difference, how men are judged, how women are judged. Ben Affleck getting in a financial fight with JLO and what you can learn from that. NBA All-Star Draymond Green, former Defensive Player of the Year, blasts WNBA victim mentality. We're talking about that. What former league MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo learned about keeping his money in banks and how that's relevant to the Silicon Valley Bank FDIC $250,000 insurance limit. We'll discuss that. Logan Paul, scammer? That's a question right there. I'm not accusing him, but we'll talk about what happened when CoffeeZilla exposed him on Joe Rogan and what you can learn from those types of situations. Fear, Greed Index, and the latest on Tate. Tate is dealing with some shit, and we're going to give him and what the people are doing out there around the world to support Tate. So if you feel like supporting Tate, we'll let you know where you can do to drive traffic that way. And we'll be speaking with my friend, the founder of Model Volleyball, the event that we're going to be at this weekend, the entire Valuetainment team, Saz, Nat, the crew, all of us. And we'll be speaking with Olivia Ormos about what to expect this weekend. And if you're in town, come on down.
Come on down.
So, lot going on in the world. So let's start. Let's get this show started.
Yes.
An article came up. You might say, where are you starting right now? And I want to start directly with sort of some of these pronouns that are a thing of the past. Right? That was everybody's so concerned with he, him, her, they, we, us. What about just traditional pronouns?
Yeah.
Can those be offensive? Right? So, Nat, what do you prefer to be called of the two, miss or ma'am? Like if someone's up to you, say, excuse me, miss, excuse me, ma'am, what would you prefer?
I like young lady.
Young lady. Aha. And there we go.
Young lady.
Perfect segue. Kelly, what would you like to be called?
Miss.
Miss. Okay. Why not ma'am?
I'm okay if it's like little kids calling me ma'am. They're like, oh, yes, ma'am. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have someone maybe who's maybe older than you or like your age and they're saying ma'am, I'm like, ma'am? Like, I don't take too much offense to
I'm
it.
a ma'am now? Okay.
Ma'am doesn't bother me, especially if it's like a Southern guy.
Yeah.
Like he's just being polite.
Ah.
Yeah, that is
okay.
true.
Well, we're going to discuss why ma'am is a trigger word for women out there these days, and it marks sort of the end of her youth. Are you calling me old? Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
And that's kind of what's going on right there.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, we all know that women are celebrated for their beauty, their youth, their fertility. But at some point, they go from young lady to miss to ma'am, and they get triggered. So women are celebrated for their beauty. Men traditionally celebrated for their success, for their money, for their status, for who they are, what they've done in the world. Women for their loveliness and inner beauty and outer beauty right there. So this word ma'am, I think we have a clip. Oh, by the way, how ma'am went from being respectful, from a respectful word for some, but polarizing for others. Scroll down in this article just to give a little context right here. Okay. So keep going down a little bit. All right. So I was completely unaware, this is what this lady says of the article. So I was completely unaware of how much women were outraged by this word until it started getting directed at me in my mid-20s. We all know that Nat is still forever 21, but something tells me she's going to be 25 one of these days. Yeah. It's like the first time you are carded at a bar. I remember being called ma'am by a waiter and realizing, yes, he is talking to me. As someone from Seattle, the term sounded foreign and was out of place. It was like society had decided without my permission that my youth was behind me. We all know women love their youth, forever 21, whereas men take a little more time to mature, a little more seasoning to become a man. You know, little difference between that. Play this clip real quick of what this lady had to say. Here's a little great clip right here about why ma'am is not an insult, by why this one woman was. Play that clip.
Thank you.
Start it again with the volume, if you don't
No,
mind.
thanks. I'll just take a check. Thank you.
Can I get you anything else?
No, thanks. I'll just take a check, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Coming right up. Are you a woman of a certain age who just moved to the South?
A certain age.
And you're shocked because a girl in her 20s just referred to you as ma'am. Does she really think she's that much younger than you?
How'd
All
you
right,
know?
I do infomer.
All right. Obviously, very offended by the word ma'am. Apparently, the word ma'am. So there's a French word for ma'am. Do you know the French word for ma'am?
Madam.
Mademoiselle.
Oh, almost.
Mademoiselle.
I like that one.
Yes. I'll tell you a funny story about the one I used the term mademoiselle in a bar in Paris one time when I almost got in a fight with a French girl.
Oh.
So the word apparently is so offensive in France. Women were so offended by being called mademoiselle, madame, that the word has officially been banned by the French government.
Wow.
In 2012,
No
for the
way.
last decade, mademoiselle apparently is not allowed to be used. Why? Because the feminists wanted this. The feminists said, stop calling me the French version of ma'am, mademoiselle. It's been banned and been celebrated by feminists. Meanwhile, they said why men of all ages have been labeled monsieur, so women only wanted to have one label as well, and they said mademoiselle was banned from France.
That is shocking.
Okay, so by the way, for you men out there, there's another term that men get a little triggered by as well. Do you have an idea what that word is?
Sir?
No.
Yes.
Really?
You
Mom
might, gentlemen, you
hates
might
it
have
when
heard
I
it in a
call him
fancy
sir.
restaurant one time.
I thought it was like boy, like
Yeah.
you're calling me a kid.
Yeah, okay. Well, men also, appreciate their youth and vivacity.
Yeah, but
Whether you're at a fancy restaurant, whether you're at frickin' CVS and you're getting a little just for men products and they go, "Sir, do you need some help?" Like, excuse, what?
really?
Sir? Yeah, men, I remember the first time I was called sir. I looked around, I was probably 30 years old. Because hey buddy, yo bro, like that's kind of what you're used to. Then it
Yeah.
turned into,
Sir.
hello sir. I was like, who's this mother? Oh, I'm the sir now? Now at this point, 42 years old, I'll take a sir every once in a while. Just don't call me old man. But sir is an offensive term for men. You guys let me know. Is sir offensive to you guys out there in internet world watching and Valuetainment out there? So apparently, look at the article real quick. If we can go back to the article. I was rattled the first time I was called ma'am, says 123-year-old, which she shared on Reddit. I thought I wasn't quite old enough for that yet. So in that video that we just saw, a lady says if you're in LA and you're trying to get into Hollywood, basically the first time that someone addresses you as ma'am, just crumple up your headshot, just get packing.
Wow.
That's it. Hollywood don't like old bitches. Yeah.
I mean,
That's what's going on
He
right
said
there.
it.
Ma'am is generally considered to be a polite term to address a woman, but depending on the region or the context, it can mean the exact opposite. Here's the deal. People get so offended these days by words.
Yeah.
Now, people are getting offended by ma'am. And listen, it might throw you off a little bit. It might be
Yeah.
a sense of discomfort. But banning words,
Ridiculous.
France saying no more, mademoiselle?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'll tell you a funny story. So I'm in Paris. You know, I like to do my accents from time to time,
I
right?
love it, yes.
I'm in Paris. I was with a girl at the time. We're traveling throughout Paris. We're traveling all throughout Europe. And I go to a French bar. And I'm talking like this the whole time that I'm in Paris. Hello, good to see you. Nice to meet you. Hello, hello. We're sitting next to a bar and at a bar next to a group of girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hello, how's your evening? Everything okay? She's like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Miami.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not from Miami. You talk like this. I go, I am from Miami. She's like, why do you talk like this?
Yeah.
And I'm having a go at her, and I'm
Yeah.
like, because I have family in France. This is how I talk, but I
Yeah.
live in Miami. She goes, you do not live in Miami. I don't. You are from Paris. I can tell.
Yeah.
Like that's how good my accent
Wow.
was. I go, I'm from Miami. I'll show you my ID. I give her my ID. She goes, oh, bullshit. Throws my ID across the room in a French bar. I'm there
Looking for your
looking for my ID.
it.
I was like, how dare you? How dare you? I come from Miami to your country, and I've heard that the French are rude. How dare you? And I swear to God, I go, mademoiselle. She goes, do not call me mademoiselle.
Oh my God.
And that's when I realized, oh shit.
Wow.
People get triggered by some
Wow.
stuff. Now, maybe she was offended that she thought I was French. I don't know what was going on
Yeah.
right there. But these are real things. These trigger words getting offensive.
Yeah.
Right? So would you get offended if the ma'am thing?
No, I wouldn't get offended. I think it's more of someone's like confirming your authoritative role. Like when people say like, yes, ma'am, I'm like, okay, well,
Okay.
assuming you will listen to what I say and the instructions I give. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it's like offensive.
Man lead, women follow, Nat.
I understand, but if it's like we're babysitting children and they're like, yes, ma'am, I'm like, yeah, go pick your toys up, you know, like.
Yeah.
Or if I'm requesting something at a restaurant, yes, ma'am, no problem. Thank you so much, or whatever. You know, like I don't take offense to it. I will say though,
Yeah.
when somebody first called me ma'am, that's when it hit me like you're growing up. You know,
Yeah.
you're becoming that woman, that young lady out in the world. But I wouldn't say I'm offended.
Not offended. So you're
Yeah.
not canceling anybody. You
No.
know what's actually, it was funny. You know, I taught second grade for a while. You know,
Yeah.
I was in nightlife. I was sick of waking up at noon every single day. So I was looking for an excuse to not wake up at noon every single day. So I was like, all right, what can I do to get started early in the morning? It ain't going to be at a club. So,
Yeah.
all right, I got a job as a substitute teacher. And I was taught second grade at my old elementary.
Wow.
And I knew the principal. And the teacher who taught second grade got sick. They said, how would you like to teach the class for the rest of the year? I said, okay. And I was coaching PE. I was doing art just once a week, you know, just to get in and not wake up every single day at noon. So I was getting in there at 7:30 in the morning. Drastic change. So I'm teaching second grade. And what I realized the most fun I ever had was calling 7 and 8 year olds, sir, put that down, sir. Put that down, okay?
Yeah.
Ma'am, get back in your seat. And addressing children as sirs and ma'ams was just hilarious to me. Because they would be like, oh, yes, sir. But, sir, I'll come over there, sir.
Yes.
But treating kids like grown-ups.
Right.
Not like, excuse me, little boy.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing. I think that's good. It kind of makes them feel like, again, like they are having a authoritative role. Like I am in control. I need to do something because I'm being instructed to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that sense, but when you do it the opposite way to someone older, and you're in a place where it's like, oh, I'm getting older, you know, like you have some other insecurities, and someone's like, yes, ma'am. You're like, ma'am, you know, you're almost like mortified. Like, do I look older? Do I look old? But I don't know. I think it just depends your level of confidence as well. Because, like, for me, it doesn't, I mean, it takes a good amount of criticism to really get to me. So, like, a yes, ma'am, I'm not going to, like, go cry in a corner and, like, shun you.
I do not think that words should be banned.
Banned.
The fact that
Yeah.
the fact that mademoiselle has been banned is insane to me. For me, everything that kind of we're seeing in society these days, sir and ma'am and mademoiselle, these are the least offensive words that you need to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we're having a conversation about men and women, sirs and ma'ams, and it's no longer the gender pronouns that are just he, she, they, when, we, why, who, how, who, what, when, where, why. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm good.
So anyway, shout out to Paris and my friend in Paris for chucking my ID. That's how I knew that I had a good French accent. My alter ego.
Mademoiselle.
Okay. Moving right along throughout our stories today. Have you heard what's going on with Tiger Woods? Are you familiar with what's happening
I've heard a little
with
bit.
Tiger Woods, y'all?
I have. So we have this article, why
Yeah.
Tiger Woods and ex Erica Herman started having a breakdown in relationship before a messy split.
The reason that I'm covering this story right now is simply for understanding the importance of getting a prenup from you successful gentlemen out there. And by the way, sometimes there's successful women that are hanging out with loser dudes. You might want to look into a prenup too, ladies. I don't know. But typically, it's the man initiating the prenup. So we all know what happened the last time that Tiger Woods got married. You know, Tiger's wood was always getting him to trouble. You know, he got to steer clear of those hazards out there. Stay out of the bunker, stay out of the greens, stay out of the lakes.
Yes.
You know, maybe you use a putter instead of that wood, buddy, when it comes to these 304s out there. But basically, he had a very public divorce from, her name was Ellen Norgren, Swedish model and nanny. Do you know how much he had to pay her when they got divorced? $100 million. She was a au pair nanny / model, meets Tiger Woods, y'all. Next thing you know, she's worth $100 million. $100 million out there.
Yikes.
Sometimes all women have to do is be pretty, get a guy that doesn't give a prenup, boom, now you're worth $100 million. Steer clear of these ladies, gentlemen. So now he's dealing with drama with his current girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, Erica Herman. She's suing him for $30 million. So allegedly, they've been together for 6-7 years. There's a picture of her right there. We don't want freshly baked foods this holiday season. Save that money. Save those carbs. X out of that. It's on the top right. Thank you. There they are together at a tennis match, it would look like. They broke up after being together for 6-7 years, I believe. He packed up all her shit while she was out doing her thing.
Right.
She came home, the locks were changed, and she basically got the message. Little fun fact, do you know what Erica Herman was doing before they started dating in 2017?
No.
What she was doing? Take a guess.
She was working in nightlife?
Sort of.
Okay.
She was the manager of his restaurant called The Woods in Jupiter, Florida.
Makes sense.
So she was a restaurant manager in 2017, making what? 50 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand at the most, maybe?
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, because she met Tiger Woods, was dating Tiger Woods, she has the opportunity to make $30 million for essentially suing Tiger Woods for what, though? Why? What would you be entitled to if he never married you?
Yeah, this is his girlfriend.
This is his lady friend. Exactly. Herman claimed she had an oral tenancy agreement that allowed her to live on the Florida property. They lived together, and argued that Woods had prohibited practices violating the state's Residential Landlord-Tenant Act to force her out. He fired back in court docs of his own soon after the legal drama made more headlines. Mr. Woods invited Miss Herman to live with him as his guest in his mansion. Mr. Woods never negotiated an oral tenancy agreement with Miss Herman, read the response, nor was there ever a written tenancy agreement between Tiger Woods or the trust. So what's happening right now is this is a good old-fashioned shakedown, blackmail. She knows, as they proverbially say, where the bodies are buried, the skeletons in the closet. She knows all Tiger Woods' secret. He had a very public divorce 10 years ago, whatever it was, after he was basically cheating on his wife left and right. Sex addict. He had a sex problem. Probably should have never got married. But now she is suing for $30 million because apparently they had an oral agreement that allowed her to live in Woods' mansion for 11 years. Why would she be entitled to anything? Essentially, if you break up with somebody, you say, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. You keep it moving. But Tiger Woods has now exposed himself to a woman who's basically going to blackmail him potentially and expose all his dirty little secrets in the hopes of getting $30 million. So Tiger's 47, Erica's 39, and they clashed, ready for this? Over time and money. Erica, who was a former restaurant manager, now doing nothing, just supporting Tiger's life. That's all she needs to do. She met Tiger Woods, live your best life. Erica thought Tiger was never at home and focused too much on golf. Hello, that's his freaking career. Enter Tom Brady Giselle drama. And Tiger thought that Erica was spending too much, was spending too much money and living too lavish of a lifestyle. You allowed this to happen, though, Tiger. I'm not saying that you're to blame for this, but here you are. You meet this woman. She's the restaurant manager of your restaurant. You have a fling with her, and next thing you know, she's your girlfriend. Fast forward, you break up. Typically, that's where the relationship ends. You're not married. You don't have kids together, nothing. That's where the relationship ends. But for whatever reason, she's now suing him for $30 million. She signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, that she wouldn't do exactly this, but she's looking for loopholes, basically, to get $30 million. A good old-fashioned shakedown. So the question is, should Tiger pay her the $30 million to shut her up or keep it moving? Because the last thing he needs is all his stuff out there publicly. Again, next thing you know, she's on Dr. Phil, airing out his secrets. It's like, be careful the type of woman you bring around and you expose into your life and expose into your kids, because the woman who was there for you, she's going to shake you down for $30 million, even though she's not your wife. This is crazy. So the message out there is what for you guys out there? you might not be Tiger Woods, y'all. But if you want to be, how do I say this? Happy Gilmore. You remember Happy Gilmore? If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, you know, he said that it's all in the hips, Happy Gilmore. Maybe it's all in the prenup, okay? Maybe that's where this is all going down. We had the lead attorney on.
Yes.
Remember, we had a whole conversation with the couple that were both divorced,
Yep.
blended family. We had Pearl on, Just Pearly Things. The lead attorney, shout out to the lead attorney. And he said 3 things that every man must consider before they get married. Number 1, spend $500, $1,000 to meet with your attorney to discuss the pros and cons of what happens when you get married. Number 2, get a prenup. But number 3, and here's might be low key the most important thing, you and your girl do a personality test to see if you're even compatible. Because we all know, guys, especially you guys out there, we know you tend to fall in love with your eyes. And you might say, holy shit, this girl's so damn hot. And maybe the sex is amazing, maybe the relationship is amazing, maybe it's all awesome. But are the personalities meant to be? I don't know. This is the type of stuff that you need to figure out before you get married. You know, these are the 5 love languages. I went through this with a girl that I was dating back, the same girl I took to Paris in that situation. No. We were together on and off 4 or 5 years, and we did the 5 love languages test. Turns out we had the exact opposite type of love languages. Wow. Okay? Which was pretty wild to me. It's like, you're gorgeous, you're amazing, we have a lot of fun together. Turns out our personalities are wildly different and incompatible. Lo and behold, the relationship didn't work out.
Did that turn you off when you found that out? Did you like look at her different?
Did I look at her different?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, why?
No, I'm just asking because it's like you could think like, oh, we're a great couple. This is going so well.
Yeah.
And then you guys take a personality test or you talk about your 5 love languages. And then you can instantly be like, oh, this is not what I thought we were. So a little shocking.
I think it's one of those things where, you know, they've said before that men love idealistically, right? Especially successful men, right? Especially successful men that don't need much from their woman. Like they say that women basically hang around at the finish line and just fuck the winners. They're not there for your struggle. So especially successful men, like maybe where I'm at in my life right now, I don't need a lot from a woman. I don't need her income. I don't need job security. I don't need her to pay the bill. I don't need anything like that.
Yeah.
What I do want is her to support me, like emotionally, be there for me, be a cheerleader, be a fan, like genuinely be proud and support me as a man. So the more successful you get as a man, the less you require of your woman. Now, if you're starting out together and you're in your 20s or you're getting things together and you're building something together, that's a totally different situation.
Right.
Respect. That might work for you. But the older you get, the more successful you get. All you want is someone that's not going to give you headaches, is going to respect you, put some respect on my name, not disrespect you, especially publicly. Right. And those are the types of things that you value as a successful man, as a high value man. It's, are you giving me a headache? Or are you the person that's preventing me from having to go get Tylenol today? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, are you the reason that I'm taking the Tylenol? Or are you bringing the Tylenol because I had a rough day?
Yeah.
There's a big difference, okay? Be careful who you end up with. So I've said this before. I don't care who you're friends with, who you hang out with, who you're dating, who you're banging. Do you. Test drive as many cars as possible. But if you're getting married, choose wisely, my friends. Because we all know this. Some women can turn millionaires into billionaires. And some women can make millionaires go broke.
Yeah, big time.
Okay?
Big time.
And there you are agreeing with me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Thoughts, Nat?
Thoughts. I think something that, like, I think what women think they want and like they want these high value men, but they don't realize how much of a back seat they have to take to acquire that. Sometimes like women see like, oh, I want this successful man, you know, but I also want to do what I want to do and find out who I want to be. And a lot of the time is that when you see these super successful men, they have women that are very, very, usually on the quieter end. They're very quiet, they're very feminine, they're very soft spoken. And it's very rare you find two like, you find like a powerhouse of a woman and a powerhouse of a gentleman together, because you know it will conflict. You know, there's two people with strong opinions and they have different successes, and both of them should be credible for that. But a lot of the time, you know, women think like, I want this type of man, but they don't realize how much of a backseat they have to take until they're in that relationship. So I just, you know, just be wary of that. I think if you are a little bit more on like a stronger end of a woman, you know, you have your own things going on, I don't think you should shy away from maybe a gentleman who's in his come up phase. I think when you can be in your come up phases together, the relationship is a little bit stronger because the struggles is a little bit similar. You know, of course, as a woman, you have to let your man lead and do those things. But I think when you guys are on the grind together in your own different categories, I think you guys find a little bit more things in common, and it's more exciting to go through the process together. So just know if you're looking for an older guy who's settled and has all his successes, you're probably going to be more of a back burner of a wife. You're more quiet. And that's okay. I think it's just a matter of finding out the type of gentleman you want. And also, some advice to you ladies quickly. Look at some of the people that you think that you want, like celebrity wise, right? Like if you see The Rock, like look at The Rock's wife, right? We don't really know much about her. She's kind of really quiet, takes care of the kids. They're great relationship, but she's not somebody who's pushing out content and promoting X, Y, and Z. You don't see her in the limelight like that. So you have to ask yourself, like, would I want to be in a position like that before you pick these high value men that you may have access to? Because I also realized certain characteristics about me that I wouldn't want a certain men because I wouldn't want to be that level of a woman for that gentleman. I don't think it would fit. I think I'm a little bit more on like the sassy end, a little bit outspoken sometimes, but I think I would need a gentleman who likes that and accepts that, but somebody who's also allows me to be me. You know, you don't want somebody to mute you too much because then you lose yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the importance of a personality test.
Yes.
So like, I'm definitely more the louder person.
Right.
I'm out there, alpha, kind of like running the show. I used to be with another girl who was very loud, very opinionated, and we would clash like crazy.
Exactly.
So the more and more that I'm out there dating different girls, I'm realizing that I would like someone who's more supportive, there for me, allows me to kind of do my thing, and she's kind of like, I'm here to help you, not someone who's looking for the limelight. I'll tell you a story. The first time that I met Jennifer Bet David, Patrick Bet David's wife, who I thought I would be meeting was the exact opposite of what I got, because I had only saw pictures of her. Right? And she's in a suit at a gala, looking great, like a power suit. And I'm expecting Pat, alpha dude, macho, 6'4". I'm like, oh, his girl's probably a badass, right?
Yes.
First time I met her, we were at the PHP office in Dallas at the time, and she walks in, and you know, she's very like, hi, how are you? And I was like, oh, hi, how are you? Hi, I'm Jen, nice to meet you. I was like, oh, you're Jen? Yeah, pleasure to meet you. I was like, you are not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, what were you expecting? Yeah. I was like, not this.
Yeah.
And she's like the sweetest, most feminine, like men
gentle.
Lead, women follow,
Yes.
gentle,
Yes.
feminine energy. And like, it's the yin yang vibe that works completely for them. And anytime you ask people like, what's an ideal relationship? Everyone says Pat and Jen, because Pat's as alpha as it gets.
Yes.
A man's man, right? Big, strong, powerful, smart, successful, cool, funny, serious, all the above. And Jen just plays her role. Feminine energy, works, supports, doesn't try to steal the shine, so feminine. So it's a good role model as to what works. Now, I know some men who aren't exactly loudmouth, alpha, trying to be the center of attention, like certain men out there. And those guys, they're just like, look, I'm not here for the limelight.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be all up in the videos, you know, all up in the music videos, Suge Knight vibes. And they want a woman who's a little bit more outspoken, right? And that works as well.
Very well.
Like I have a good buddy, Zach. He's a quiet dude, chill. His girl's Italian, loudmouth, doing it like, and he likes that.
Yeah.
He's like, let her do her thing. She's the one that's gonna kind of operate and, oh, excuse me, sir, blah, blah. And he's just like, it's all good.
Yes.
And that works for them. So understand your personality type. I'll give Jed a compliment right now, Jed at Iabila. Jed ain't shy.
Yes.
Jed's an alpha female.
Yes.
Okay? I don't know if she would classify herself as that.
Yeah.
That's her vibe.
Yeah.
Her husband, very quiet.
Yeah.
Very chill.
Do your thing.
Kind of, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're the boss, but like, you do you, I'll kind of be your support.
Yes.
And that works for them. So again, a personality test, what works for you? If there's two alphas in a relationship,
You will clash.
it's not going to work.
You will clash.
It's not gonna work.
At all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So look at examples around you where you see like successful dynamic of relationships, and see like, where do you fall in there? You know, am I like this guy? Am I like this guy?
Yep.
What type of girl would fit with me? So just be mindful of that, especially when you're making like a long-term commitments to somebody, like getting married and those things, or even like long-term relationships. Because like you see Tiger Woods, right? Like he was in this relationship with this woman for a couple years since 2017. She's 39, he's 47. My mind starts to think, you know, is she going this route because she's a little bit older and she's trying to avoid, oh my God, what happens next to me? Am I just an ex-girlfriend of Tiger Woods and I just go back to managing a restaurant? Like, I could see why she would try and do something like that because of also where she may be at, like finding another partner per se. So I could see it. Do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right. I don't think you should just take somebody's money. I mean, I don't know all the aspects of it, but I don't think like you should just try and get someone's money because you guys had a verbal agreement.
Yeah, I'll say one last thing about that. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Just think about what's happening right now. You're a manager at a restaurant, okay? Your name is, I don't even know your name. Your name is
Erica Herman.
Erica Herman.
Herman.
You're a manager at a restaurant. You're a manager at the Woods, Tiger Woods restaurant. You're doing your thing. You're making 50 grand a year. All good. Enter Tiger Woods. Oh, shit. Tiger's in the house. Hi, Tiger. I'm Erica. I'm the manager. Lovely to meet you. You end up having a relationship. Okay, cool. Erica, Tiger, they're dating. Cool. It's been a few years. Great. Fast forward. They break up. Now she thinks she's entitled to $30 million. Not $3 million, not $13 million. You're his girlfriend. You get to live in Tiger Woods' mansion. You get to travel the world, being with arguably the greatest golfer ever, one of the greatest athletes of all time. You get to live in his world for free, live a life of luxury. We just discussed the fact that she was basically living a lavish lifestyle and spending too much money and shopping too much, and that was part of his problem. And now you have the audacity to sue Tiger Woods for $30 million. What is happening right now?
I don't know. That's a big. But here's the thing. You also don't know what that verbal agreement involved. Maybe he was like, listen, babe, if we last for X amount of time, we'll get married, we'll have kids, we'll do whatever. Or it's like, hey, you know, at the end of this relationship, if it doesn't work out, I'll cut you a check for whatever amount. I think 30 million is ridiculous. I maybe am thinking somebody put that number in her head. Maybe she spoke to somebody before. I'm not sure. But it's a little bit of a ridiculous number. I don't think it's a reasonable number. So I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Good
I know the
old-fashioned
details.
shakedown.
Yeah, she's
okay.
getting that money.
We've done some mafia content here at Valuetainment. We know what a shakedown looks like.
That's the shaking.
We know what this. Shake it, don't break it. Okay.
Shaking it.
Nat's gonna get to the super chats in a second. Let's do one more story. We'll get to that. I want to talk about our friend Chris Rock. He's obviously all up in the news these days, all up in the videos. His special blew up. He talked about what happened with the slap heard around the world, and with Jada and Will and all that stuff. But Chris Rock has been talking about how men, women, dating, relationships, how they operate, the good, the bad, the ugly, for years. Chris Rock has joked that he's back on tour because he got divorced and his wife took all his money. So Chris Rock knows a thing or two about getting married, maybe joking a little too much, and now not having a prenup that protected your estate. Now he's back on the road doing gigs again to make more money. So I want to get this clip right here. He's talking about the relationship between Jay-Z and Beyonce and why it's different from a man and a woman. So let's play this clip with the audio.
Beyonce is so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still marry Jay-Z. She could still get her a billionaire, great rapping businessman. She is so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still marry Jay-Z. Now, if Jay-Z worked at Burger King...
Facts. This is why
That's cool.
a lot of women just...
Yeah. We don't even need to finish the rest of the sentence.
Yeah.
If Jay-Z worked at Burger King, ... You know how this story ends.
Yes.
So I'll just recapitulate this. This is the difference between men and women, why men are success objects and women are beauty objects. Beyonce, so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still pull Jay-Z. A fine-ass woman,
Yeah.
no matter where she's at, oh, you're in a trash can? Get out of the trash can, baby. We put you in the shower, clean you up, fix your hair. Why are you hanging out in a trash can? Shout out to Patrice O'Neal for that. She could still get a billionaire rapper, businessman, Jay-Z.
Right.
But if Jay-Z worked at Burger King, he ain't getting Beyonce. He's not getting Kelly Rowland. He ain't getting the other members of Destiny Child that never even heard from again.
Yeah.
He ain't getting nothing.
Sorry.
Okay? Men are success objects. Women are beauty objects. And that's fine to say. By the way, I always want to stipulate women, beauty on the inside and the outside. I know so many women that are beautiful on the outside, ugly AF on the inside.
Yes.
Okay?
Horrible mix.
Yeah.
Horrible mix.
Not a good look for you.
And knowing this, you can really use it to your advantage. Like if you're a woman and you know that your beauty can get you what you want, you should use that to your advantage. But obviously use it in an appropriate way. You know, like if you know that you have a good heart, or not that you know, but if you have a good heart and you're beautiful, you know, there's a man who would want to keep you around and want to be married to you. So don't look at it as like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe you say that, like beauty object. I'm not just a beauty object. Like women are, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, take that to your advantage and, you know, be a good person and let your man find you. You know, and same thing, gentlemen, you know, same thing with your eyes. Be wary with your eyes, right? Like, of course, be careful with who you pick based on the looks. But that's where I think as you become older, as a gentleman, you learn how people dynamics work. So you're able to kind of dissect how that woman really is based on like that interaction you have with her, so that your eyes don't perceive something different. But of course, you can get caught. You know, look at Woods today, got caught.
Tiger
So
Woods, y'all. By
just
the
be
way,
wary.
Google real quick, young Jay-Z.
Oh,
So just a little lesson out there. Young Jay-Z, images. Okay, hit images. Not that one, he looks great there. That picture right there.
This one?
Yep. That's young Jay-Z, y'all. Scroll in on that a little bit if we can. That dude married Beyonce. Okay?
yeah.
So you gentlemen out there, you may not be where you're at, where you want to be in life right now. Okay? Just know, good things take time. Let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah.
Work on your career. Work on your success. Work on yourself. Work on your wealth, your health, your fitness, your mindset. And one day, you can grow up and marry a Beyonce.
Literally.
Even if you look like Jay-Z when he was young.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
proof. Like, women will not judge you for your looks. This is literally proof. And he's not horrible looking. He's not hideous. But, I mean, a woman would pick an average to decent looking guy with other successful
Google
Adam's face.
characteristics.
Google Jay-Z Camel cigarettes.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you're looking at him now, and I'm thinking of all of
Images.
his successes
Yes.
as well.
Top left image.
So I'm like, okay, that makes you attractive.
Bottom right. Jay-Z has been compared to looking like this dude. Okay, can you scroll in on that? You punch in on that? Okay. That's who they say Jay-Z looks like. The cool cigarette dude. Okay?
Oh, my God.
And I gotta tell you, they're not that wrong. But boy can flow.
I mean,
Okay? Can I get a what to my okay.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
won't go there. I'm not gonna rap. Stick to talking styles.
Stick
Don't
to
be
script.
rapping. But you could look like a mother in Camel
Yeah.
and pull Beyonce if you get your money right, you get your game right,
Yeah.
get your flow right. All right. Look your best, feel your best, talk your best, do your best. You could pull a Beyonce.
You can.
Shout out to the Hove. Rock Nation in the house right now. Okay? Anyway, you want to get to some super chats and then we'll keep it moving.
Yes, let me read the chats we've got. We've got some chats here. So we've got our first chat by Crypto Keeper. What is Adam drinking? Also, will Adam get a prenup? Would Adam consider dating a woman like Amber? Lastly, the Richard Hart stream was fire and CGA.
What am I drinking? This is whiskey with a little bit of Coke. I'm having one cocktail. That's it. That's all I'm allowed. Would I get a prenup? I've gotten a prenup when I got engaged and briefly married for a hot minute. Yeah. And lo and behold, the prenup helped me basically say, all right, she's not taking half my shit.
Yeah.
So it's all good because relationships, not all of them are going to work. In fact, coin flip, whether your relationship will work or not, that's your marriage. And the plus, how the average person sleeps with women, I think it's 5, 6 guys, women, 9, 10, body count we're talking about right there. So if you end up taking the one, you're a guy, you end up having, let's just say, sex with 10 women in your lifetime, and you marry one of them, that means 90% of your relationships didn't work, right? Now the one that quote unquote did has a 50-50 shot. So that means 95% of your relationships won't work. Holla, we want prenup, yeah. Okay?
Yes.
That's how that
protect yourself.
works.
Protect yourself. I agree. And then we have Beaten Cheeks in the chat. Beaten Cheeks in the chat. He said, don't shake me down when I visit you guys in July. Please, I'm a bit shy at first. Shout out to Adam and Nat. Also, Nat, don't forget coffee in July. See you, Beaten Cheeks. Then we have Don Juan Plaga Zero. Great show so far, y'all. Natalia said, my boy Duke the Don, greetings. My dude Duke is awesome. Y'all should have him on. Thanks so much. And then we have this one right here. I see him again. Oh, sorry, spell checker mistake, Natalia. Almost. It's Lya, but I'll take it. Thank you so much, Don.
Yeah, get it right, get it tight. Okay. Shout out to you guys in the super chats.
Yes.
Nat will be checking the super chats throughout the episode. We'll be reading all the super chats.
Yes.
Speaking of super chat drama,
Uh-oh.
I had an hour-long conversation with Rollo last night.
Okay.
So we're working on our differences. We're good. Never had a problem with Rollo.
Right.
So just putting that out there publicly. Cool. Spoke for an hour.
Nice.
And we're working on a potential new date for another show to bring Rollo back on. Do you guys think I should bring Rollo back on?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Chat.
What do you guys
want
think?
us to
Speaking
have
of
him?
super chat, so we
Yeah.
addressed issues that we've had in the past, mostly issues he's had with stuff that we've done. I've clarified what happened.
Right.
We're cool. Squashed any beef.
Love that.
But like I've always said, if you've got beef, speak with somebody.
Yep.
Talk to them. Clear the air. All good. Spoke for an hour. Appreciate him reaching out. We're cool. I told him I had never had a problem with him. And he's like, never had a problem with you either. Clear the air. All good. Do you want to have Rollo back on the show? Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments
Okay.
what you guys
Yes,
think.
no, maybe.
Maybe so.
Nat, maybe do a poll.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
Would you like to
Kelly?
see Rollo back on the show?
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
And then, of course, thank you guys for the chats that I've already read. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all those things. And let's jump into the next topic.
Okay. Where do we go from here? Well, here's we'll talk to this story right here. So we were just talking earlier about, here's a story about Ben Affleck and JLO. Let me actually give you a quick story. We're talking about prenups. Do you remember the JLO at one point was dating a guy for years? He was a backup dancer in her videos. His name was Casper Smart. Do you remember this story?
Yes.
Okay, Casper is a homie. We've met in Miami. We've hung out a bunch of times. He was a homie. Here's the difference between a guy dating J-Lo that didn't have a lot of money and a girl dating Tiger Woods who didn't have a lot of money. Tiger Woods and this woman, Erica,
Yes.
are together 5-6 years. They break up. She's now suing him for $30 million. Okay? J-Lo and Casper break up. You know what happens next?
Remember him, yeah.
Nothing. That's the end of the fucking story.
Yeah.
He didn't sue her for anything.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks for the great time, J-Lo. Had an amazing situation with you. Kept it moving.
Well,
He's not suing her for $30 million.
Yeah. But he got exposure. That's the trade-off. Like, honestly, if you're going to date such a high and celebrity. I think the trade-off is that, yeah, you get to date and maybe it's successful, but then you also get exposure. Because here's the thing. Yeah, you may be known as their ex, but there's other people in the world who have seen you with them, and they're like, why did someone like that want someone like you? So that can also be an attractive characteristic for people.
I think what you're saying is if you want to pull a hot chick, learn how to dance.
Oh. Yeah.
Bailamos, let the rhythm take it on. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Ben Affleck, there he is right there. Let's tell a story about, we all know that Ben Affleck, they dated. She was dating Diddy. Then she married Mark Anthony. She was briefly engaged to Ben Affleck prior to that. Then she was dating A-Rod. If there's anything about JLo, she ain't messing with losers.
Yes, that is
Okay?
true.
She dates some top dudes. So Ben Affleck, who I've been told I kind of look like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
How you doing,
I
Ben?
can definitely see that for sure.
B-Lo. Okay.
That little smirk, I can see it.
How you doing?
Oh my God, all right, too much.
I've also
too
been
much.
told I look like Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
Okay.
Both
Who's
of them.
that?
So we'll deal with that later. So Ben Affleck, we all know, married J-Lo less than a year ago. They revived their relationship. Like he kind of ran a remix, like a remix track right there. Ended up with them. And so here's the story. They're in Vegas. They're in the casino. And they're gambling. They're having a good time. They're obviously in the High Rollers Club. And Ben Affleck had such a good time, I assume he won some money, that he left his server a $10,000 tip. Now, if you've ever gambled, they're just chips, So there's sometimes $1,000 chips, $5,000 chips. He probably left the server a couple chips worth $10,000. If you're a server at a casino, someone gives you 10 grand, that can change your year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it changes your life,
gives you
but
a
that can
jump
change. I mean, you got some rent that's, you got to pay. You got some bills you got to pay. 10 grand can do a lot for people. I encourage people out there to make sure they have a $10,000 emergency fund, savings, rainy day fund, a cushion before they even start investing. So $10,000 means a lot to the average person out there, no doubt. So what happens is this. He leaves a $10,000 tip. You know what J-Lo did? She snatched that thing. She's like, not on my watch. He said he was so embarrassed, he was so offended that the next day he came back, found the server, gave her a bouquet of flowers and $25,000. Okay? Now, if you're that server, you're like, hell yeah. Thank you, J-Lo, for snatching that thing. You just made me $15,000 extra in less than 24 hours.
And flowers.
So she basically took, as the story goes, she took that 10 grand, J-Lo, she took the 10 grand and left a $10 tip. That's how much she gave the lady. She took the 10 grand back and gave her $10. So that is a $9,990 difference of what Ben Affleck was willing to tip versus what J-Lo was willing to tip. Now, Ben is 50 years old. He's worth $150 million. J-Lo, 53 years old. She's worth $400 million. So they got money. What's the lesson here right there, my friends? A man should be able to do what he wants with his money. He made this money. Why is she the boss over his money? If he wants to give 10 grand, he should give 10 grand. By the way, I guarantee you they got a prenup. That's not even a question right. That. So, you know the old adage, further proof, a woman's money is her money. A man's money is our money. So J-Lo is taking ownership of Ben Affleck's money. And he says, you know what? You think that you run the show here? I try to do a nice gesture, give 10 grand away to this great server. I'm going to show you how I operate. I'm now giving her $25,000. How you like me now?
Yikes. Yeah, that sounds like a mess. That sounds like a big mess. I think also, though, she's also coming from a place of being a person in the limelight. So for her, like, she knows what it's like to, like, make that money. So she's a little bit more frugal with the money. I think if she was just an average girl that, he found at a store, I don't think she would feel the audacity to be in charge of that money. I think because JLo is who she is, she has an authoritative role where she's like doing it in like a protective sense. I'm not defending her. I don't think it's appropriate because at the end of the day, like all this makes her look worse. Like she was better off to just let him tip her the way he tipped her and continue on. But like this, it kind of, I feel bad because there's like stories that come out about their relationships and their relationship, and it's a little like you can't help but like feel kind of bad for the guy, you know, like in some
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, you know, you have like things like this, and then it's like this could have been something private, and now like everybody knows. And it's like you look at Jennifer Lopez and you're like, you're successful, like give a girl $10,000, you know, like you kind of give her like a hater title when you see stuff like this.
Yeah, people are saying that JLo used to be hot, now she's just old and stingy.
Really?
People are saying.
Yeah.
And who are those people? Just me. I said that. That was only me.
I was gonna say.
But you just see how easily you could say people are saying.
Yeah.
Cite nobody.
Yeah.
I'm owning up to it. That was me saying that. I don't get it. I don't get the whole JLo thing. I get it. She's hot. She was hot.
But
she's
maybe
rich.
she's also being like frugal with her money. She's like, you know, inflation is high, things are expensive.
JLo worth $400 million.
I'm trying to.
Pardon me while I throw up in my mouth for thinking about inflation. Eggs are $2 extra these days. JLo really worried about inflation.
I'm just trying to think what would go on in her mind to feel the authority to like take that and make that decision in that scene. Because mind you, this is not just like you're discussing this in a car. You're making a scene at this point. You know, it's like, you know, by default, this is going to get out there. So it's like, I'm just trying to think like what went on in her mind for her to feel like, no, like in front of everybody.
This is my money.
Yeah.
That's what she was feeling right there.
It's a little much.
Okay. Where do we want to go from here? Okay, here's where I want to go. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we did an episode about the difference between NBA players and WNBA players and their pay. And then we broke down the gender wage gap. And we also highlighted what female models, the top female models make versus the top male models. So spoiler alert, the NBA players make infinitely a lot more than the WNBA players, right? Because of eyeballs.
Right.
And the female models make infinitely a lot more than the male models also because of eyeballs. That's just kind of how this thing works.
Right.
So there was recently a conversation where LeBron hosted a conversation with several players, one of them being former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green, and former league MVP of the WNBA, Lisa Leslie. So they addressed why WNBA players make so much less than NBA players. So Draymond spoke with Lisa on this exact topic, and he wasn't having it. So let's play that clip starting at 38, I believe.
Could we have more? I mean, I just think, you know, from a salary standpoint, it'd be great for the women to be able to make more money. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. I think that's something to say.
Never, not once in the history of the WNBA has the league turned a profit. So this is a business that is still functioning only because the NBA supports the WNBA. Any other business that doesn't turn a profit, what happens to them? They go out of business. Continue to play the clip.
One player that makes maybe $12 million on the NBA team could cover the whole,
Pause it.
like the whole.
Scroll down just a little bit. Oh, no, you can't see it. LeBron makes $37 million. By the way, he's in this room hosting this conversation.
Yeah.
And the entire WNBA makes $12 million. That's also former WNBA MVP Candace Parker right there, whose brother played in the NBA, Anthony Parker. Continue to play it.
NBA salary.
Yeah, that's what
So that's kind of like crazy. And again, you know, we're what, 26 years young, so it's not like we're comparing ourselves to the NBA.
Pause it.
But I do.
26 years young. You're not a startup at this point.
Yeah.
You're not in business for the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You've been around for a quarter century. Either the business is going to work or it's not. 26 years young. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah.
Okay, and you basically you've been around long enough that this isn't like Bill Russell in the 1950s, black and white George Mikan. Okay, you've been around since basically prior to 2000.
Yeah.
Internet age. Okay, women's rights, feminism. Like, if you can't make this league work now, when is it ever gonna work? Enter Draymond Green not having it. Go ahead.
Like, the pay gap would be something that, you know, we could just take a donation around the NBA, maybe one night y'all don't go to the casino.
Pause it. Take a donation around the NBA.
Wow.
Like, talk about entitlement. The only reason your league exists is because the NBA is paying for you already. Now you want men who are making their money. This career, the NBA average NBA career last 5 years, the average NBA salary at this point is $9.8 million. Okay, so these guys become millionaires.
Yeah.
But this money has to last them the rest of their life. Okay, you choose to go into this profession as women to play in the WNBA. The average WNBA salary is just over 100 grand. You're not going to retire comfortably on this money. You made this decision.
Right.
Okay, so again, LeBron's in this room. He's hosting this conversation. There's B-roll right there of LeBron playing cards, all good. She's basically saying, give us more money.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you deserve it, just because you guys are making so much money.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where Draymond's like, listen, Lisa, I got a couple of words for you. Go ahead.
On this, though, because it pisses me off. It pisses me off because I don't think there's anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the WNBA.
You heard what she said? She said 100%.
Yes.
She's in full agreement.
Yeah.
She's not being, no, Draymond. She fully understands
Right.
that the entire reason the WNBA exists,
It's because
that women can talk that talk, is because these guys are paying for them. Continue.
More than we probably support the fucking NBA. And it bothers me.
You shouldn't be bothered because the WNBA
Stop it.
players.
Okay, you shouldn't be bothered. Okay. So he just basically G-checks her right there. And she gives some excuse and kind of like, you know, sidetracks the question and dodges it. And she gives this kind of answer right here. But this is what I would call, continue to play the video, sorry.
Tell you 100%. And we had a meeting for our 25th anniversary. We're like, do Zooms with the veteran, the legends of the league or whatever, and just talking about it. And I told them on that call, the number one supporter that we have, you guys never focus on, and that is the NBA players.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the WNBA actually loses money. Shocker, I know. They lose an average of about $10 million per year ever since they started. So how is it that they're able to keep going as a league and pay their players? Well, that would be the NBA. The only reason the WNBA even exists is because of the profits that the NBA has made. So when you hear statements like, men should show more support for our league, just donate your salaries, it's no big deal, skip a couple nights in the casino. Don't you think that's a little entitled, considering the whole reason they're able to make any money at all and even play basketball is because of the NBA players making the profits they do? Even when they show support, NBA players get blasted for it. That's what happened to Andre Iguodala. When he complimented Ariel Powers, she not only told him to keep it to himself, but she also tried digging up old tweets from his past to cancel him. That's right, she tried to ruin his career just because he complimented her by number and not by name. And let's also not forget when Luka Doncic got blasted.
So, and we can get off the story. Listen, I love women.
Yeah.
Respect for women. I'm not hating on women. I am calling out bullshit entitlement victim mentality when I see it. You chose, as women, to enter the WNBA. You know how much WNBA players make. This ain't a surprise. You're making six figures. Congratulations.
Right.
But the WNBA average career is about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So what happens is you make 300, 400, 500 grand, and now what do you do the rest of your life? I don't know. You become a WNBA coach? I don't know how much that pays. But this is actually something that I was like, holy shit, this victim mentality is absolute BS. Okay? Your company, your business doesn't make money, yet You're upset with the men who are making money that turn $1 billion business every year, and you're demanding more money from them. This is what I would call victim mentality from these modern, feminist, entitled women, okay? So what I wanted to do is kind of highlight real quick 14 clear signs when someone is always playing the victim, okay? Just like these WNBA players playing the victim. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them, as highlighted in that clip, playing the victim. So we live in a culture where victims are sometimes rewarded, and oh, I don't like this. I'm playing the victim and feel bad for me. Where it's like, let me tell you, nobody feels bad for you. You know, they say 80% of the people don't care about your problems. The other 20% are happy you have them.
Yes.
Nobody cares about your problems, WNBA. You chose to enter this career. So here are 14 signs someone is always playing the victim, where we're going to read the 14 very fast. You tell me which stands out the most. Number 1, they don't take responsibility. Take some responsibility. Number 2, they are frozen in life. You heard about paralysis by analysis. They are just paralyzed and they're not moving because they just feel bad for themselves. I'm not saying that about the WNBA, but that's people in general. They hold grudges, no doubt, hanging on to old grievances and grudges. Number 4, they have trouble being assertive. Okay, assert yourself. There's a difference between being obnoxious and being assertive. So know the difference between that. There's a difference between being assertive and being annoying. Assertive is, hey, I'd like to talk to you for a second. Hey, we need to speak. Annoying is like, hey, talk to me, buddy. What's going on here? I'm not saying that you need to be a wallflower, but there's a difference between being annoying and assertive. Okay, number 5, they feel powerless. Listen, you have the power to do whatever you want in your life. If you feel powerless, look in the mirror, give yourself a little affirmation, get on the same page, get some power in your life. Go ahead. 6, they don't trust others. Okay. 7, they don't know when enough is enough. Number 8, they argue a lot. Oh, yeah, with the arguing. Number 9, they feel self-pity. Number 10, they constantly compare themselves to others. You know how they say comparison is the thief of joy?
Yes.
You've heard that before?
Yes.
There's always going to be someone cooler, better, smarter, hotter, richer, all that. Just be comfortable in your own skin and just improve what you can improve in your life. If you want to improve, you can improve.
Yeah.
If you want to play victim, you're never going to improve. Okay? This is number 11. They see life as always lacking. These are not glass half full people. These are glass half empty people. Number 12, they are critical. Just look for the silver lining is what I think that is. 13, they think they are perfect. That to me is very weird. Why would they think they're perfect? Oh, because they're basically saying, I don't need to improve. You should accept me for who I am. There's nothing wrong with me. Accept me for who I am. Could you imagine as a guy if you're just like, just accept me for who I am? I'm 40 pounds overweight. I still live with my parents. I don't have a job. I have nothing going on in life. Just accept me for who I am. It doesn't operate. It doesn't work that way, gentlemen. Okay? It doesn't work that way. A lot of women out there is, yes, queen, you got this thing. No, they should love you for who you are. Meanwhile, they're 100 pounds overweight. You've seen these women who literally wear crop tops with guts hanging out. What are you doing, lady? Okay? No one's just going to accept you for who you are. They can accept your personality maybe. But if you don't look the way you should look, nobody's going to be like, yeah, you're beautiful, queen. You're 400 pounds. What are you doing?
Reset.
Okay, number 14, they cut people out of their life. These are the types of people you should be cutting out of their life. The bottom line is this. Let's read the rest of the article. Nat, you want to read the rest?
Yes. In the end, playing the victim doesn't get you anywhere. The victim will end up facing painful consequences in their life and relationships if they do not change their behavior by taking constructive criticism and turning it into a positive action. As with most things in life, alternative options are there. We have to be willing to look for them and make a start.
Well said. By the way, do you notice how great Nat's reading is these days?
You inspired me. I hear you reading on PPD podcast. I'm like, okay, let me get my Adam reading skills.
Thank you.
Yeah, go phonics.
I do my best on there. Anyway, message to WNBA players. If you don't like what's happening in your league, do better. Do stuff that will make more people want to watch you guys play. I don't know what you guys can do, but playing the victim ain't going to work, and demanding more money from NBA players who are already funding your league, okay, is not the answer.
Yeah.
Yas Queen. There you go. Speaking of NBA players, here's a metaphor that I want to use. Do you know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is?
No.
Okay, Google the Greek freak Giannis, just so
That
you
would
get
be
a,
his
just so
name.
you get an idea. The Greek freak. This guy is arguably the best player in the NBA. Have you ever seen him? He won a championship from the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a few years ago. No. He's the man. Okay. They say that after LeBron, he's going to be the next face of the league. Arguably, he's the new face of the league right now.
Wow.
So Giannis, the reason that I want to talk about this story, if we can pull up that article, allegedly he put, with everything that's happening with the Silicon Valley Bank, and a lot of people weren't familiar with what the FDIC insurance limit is. So basically, if your money's in a bank, it's insured up to $250,000.
Right.
Okay, so meaning if a bank fails, like Silicon Valley Bank has just failed, and multiple other banks are allegedly failing right now. There's another bank that failed today, I want to say. Breaking news. Okay.
Let me see.
What was the bank that just failed today? Well, First Republic. That was another one of the banks. Anyway, banks are failing these days, and people are very worried. Even rich people are very worried. Giannis Antetokounmpo put his money in 50 different banks until basically his team owner, Mark Lazary, had to be like, bruh, what are you doing? You can't have 50 different bank accounts.
Yeah.
Okay, so he put more than, up to the limit, $250,000 up into 50 different banks.
Wow.
I know people that have a couple different bank accounts. Fair enough. Personal account, checking account, savings account, investment account. I think I have, how would I call it? I've got Wells, I've got this. I've got about 4 banks that I have, right? Some money, some checking account, savings account, a 401k with Vanguard. I have Fidelity that manages my active investment stuff. I have index funds with Vanguard. A couple banks, all good. 50 banks? 50 banks? What is happening right now?
Yeah.
So the conversation went like this. He spoke with his owner, and he goes, Giannis, quote unquote, you can't be having accounts at 50 different banks. Let me tell you something. If JP Morgan goes under, your little dinky banks are going to go under too. What should you do? You should buy U.S. Treasuries. That's what you should buy. So word to the wise. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is worth about $100 million. The owner of the Milwaukee Bucks is worth $2 billion. You know how they say that your net worth is your net worth?
Yeah.
Don't you think Giannis is lucky to be having these conversations with a full-on billionaire?
Absolutely.
Okay? Shaq once said, I'm rich, but Jerry Buss, who owns the Lakers, he's wealthy.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Okay, I might make, $100 million in my career.
Yeah.
He's worth a couple $100 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a big difference. So if you have the opportunity to learn from somebody that makes billions and you're worth millions, listen up.
Right.
Just like if you're broke and you know somebody who's worth $1 million, listen up.
Right.
I've had that conversation before where I said, here I am, I'm worth some money. I'm speaking with someone who's worth 10 times me, former NBA player who made $50 million in his career, and he's teaching me about real estate. Enter a friend of mine basically saying, well, I actually have an opinion on money. I'll tell you what I think. Well, here's where I think you should invest. I said, aren't you broke? Didn't you just borrow money from me?
Yeah.
Why are you talking right now? And he's like, well, why can't I talk? Well, I said, yeah, I guess you can talk. But the old adage, you've got one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. Use your fucking ears right now, buddy. Stop talking. You are broke, okay? I'm worth $1 million. I'm talking to somebody who's worth $50 million. I'm shutting the fuck up so I can learn from him. Why are you talking right now? He said, well, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents. I said, save your 2 cents, literally and figuratively, and learn from what's going on right here. So Giannis is wise enough right now to learn from a billionaire. So what can you learn from this? Hey, if you're the richest one of your friends, get better friends.
Yes, big time.
Okay?
Big time.
If you have the most of what's going on than any of your friends, figure out how to hang out with better people.
Yes.
Your network is your net worth. So I respect Giannis for listening to his owner of his team and implementing this. Knowledge is power. So, they say that you can be a scorer in the NBA. You can be a rebounder. You can be an assist guy. You can be a defensive guy. This is arguably one of the best assists that Giannis is ever going to get in his career. Learning financial advice from a billionaire, the owner of his team, Mark Lazary. So respect for Giannis and respect for you guys. If you're not familiar with what's happening with Silicon Valley Bank, it's all over the news. We understand. But just understand what the insurance limit is. And if you're fortunate enough to have more than $250,000 in the bank, I know not all of you do, not a lot of you do. But if you do, just understand what you need to do to understand to protect yourself. So play defense, play offense, right?
Yes.
Winning the money game. It's not just offense, it's also defense.
Correct.
Offense is how much you make. Defense is limiting your expenditures and protecting your wealth.
Yes.
Okay, so shout out to Giannis right there. By the way, who's your pick to win the NBA Finals this year?
The winners.
Did you just say the winners?
Whoever wins is my pick.
The Heat.
Who do you pick to win?
The Heat.
The winners.
Nat.
The Heat.
Nat.
The Heat.
If you weren't so adorable.
You have to. You
that what time it is
I want
right
to
now?
go to a game. We got to go to a game.
Yeah, I was at the game 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Well, we got to go to
Did
a
they
game.
win?
I invited you. We're working. Yeah, go
Yeah,
Heat.
working.
Okay. Couple more stories, and I'll text you when we're done, and then we'll get our friend Olivia in here. And we'll do a super chat, and then we'll wrap up Olivia. Have you heard about what's happening with Logan Paul and this NFT drama? This was circulating for a while.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan invited the guy CoffeeZilla onto his show to basically expose what happened with Logan Paul's crypto project. Some are calling it a scam. Some are calling it a scheme. I'm just delivering the news here. Don't shoot the messenger. By the way, before I play this clip, you know that this guy talked shit about Pat and PHP for a while.
Really? Oh,
This
I
guy
remember
exposes,
this guy.
This guy exposed alleged scams. Pat said, you know what, buddy? I'll do an interview with you. You can ask me any question you want. It was a masterclass.
Yes.
It was so amazing. Pat said, go ahead, give me what you got.
Yeah.
But he goes, well, you don't pay you guys enough and you don't do this. He goes, well, this is my business model.
Yeah.
This is how this works. It's the 80-20 rule, okay?
Yeah.
20% of your salespeople will make 80% of the money. Why? Because they work harder.
Yes.
And they work more. And they better. And they have a better strategy. Then the other 80% are kind of half-assing it.
Yeah.
They're lazy. They're not working as hard. They don't have a good game plan. They're not putting in the work. Pat met this guy head on, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Pat didn't run from this. Who is running from this guy, CoffeeZilla, who exposes a lot of these people, is Logan Paul. So play the clip from the very beginning, and I'll explain what's happening here throughout that.
Half the eggs don't work, and they're not actually earning anything. The whole time they said they're going to earn you these tokens, right? They're not earning anything. So the promises haven't been fulfilled. There's just sort of all this stuff going on behind the scenes. Logan's quiet. Come to find out, he had hired basically criminals who were selling on the back end, like some of the tokens. And he was sort of like, I don't know what his thing was. I think he realized like, oh, it's not going to be that successful. Let me move on. I think his mentality was, let me just move on, right? The problem though is you have millions of dollars of investment in a thing that you promoted. You told everyone it was going to make them money, and then you never delivered anything.
That's cool.
So my story was basically...
So, Nat, I have a great business idea.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready
Here's
for
the business idea. We're gonna it's gonna be an NFT project.
Okay.
I want you to consider investing in this. Hear me out. There's gonna be these cartoon eggs, okay? And what's gonna happen to these eggs is they're gonna hatch, and they're gonna turn into animals, right? Kind of like what happens with eggs and animals. And then when they hatch, you're gonna earn tokens and more money when they hatch, okay? And then the more tokens and the more hatchings that you get, the more money that you will make. Are you in or are you in?
I am not in.
You're not in?
No.
Why not?
It sounds like the little Tamagotchi thingies.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
remember those little things?
Why
that
are you
like
not in?
eggs?
It sounds like a great deal.
Because I don't have enough information. I don't understand the whole
Aha!
process.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't understand something, why would you invest in it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so who's to blame here? Is it Logan Paul that's basically doing a grift right now when NFTs were hot a year ago, right? Nobody's talking about NFT these days. They're down 97% year over year.
Right.
So do you blame Logan for kind of capitalizing on this NFT thing? Do you blame the people that Logan hired for scamming Logan and scamming the people? Or do you blame the people who are like, yeah, I want to get some egg hatching token investment NFT? Sounds great. Who do you blame?
I blame all of them. I'm sorry. I think that's all their faults. I think Logan is maybe taking advantage of the positions he's in to get whatever he can from the audience he has. I also do blame the audience who are part of that community, because knowing Logan Paul, you know, he is known for like pranks and being kind of that guy that you're like, you know, free spirit and all that stuff. So you kind of can't really trust everything. You know, he's known as like a troll.
How about a prank that I just stole $1.7 million? Gotcha.
Yeah, but even like how he lost that fight, remember his reaction after the fight was like, oh, I lost, but I made 30 million. You know, like when you have, like, you know who you're following. If you have a specific person that you idolize and they're known for being like a little bit of a troll, a funny guy, and they put stuff out, like, you have to also be wary of that. So I blame everyone. Obviously, I blame the people who took part in the back end as well. You know, you took part in something that you know is not well and good for people. But I think it's just everyone needs to hold responsibility and not play victim.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts. So Logan Paul hatches this NFT egg hatching token scheme, plot, business model when NFTs are hot. NFTs dries up. He evaporates. This guy, CoffeeZilla, kind of calls him out. This is what happens when you print $5 trillion during COVID and start giving everybody stimmy money, $1,600 a pop. They start investing in money in things they have no clue about.
Yeah.
This egg crypto project hatching situation, but Logan Paul's name is attached to it so people believe them. This is nonsense. This is not a real business.
Right.
These are not real products. This is BS that was just concocted during the height of COVID, crypto, NFT nonsense. So just like buying land in the metaverse, or buying apes that tend to be very bored, or buying FTX tokens. How'd that work out for you, Sam Bankman-Fried type people? Can we just get back to the basics and basic fundamentals? What's happening right now in the economy, and inflation and consumer price index and everything that happened with gas prices and mortgage rates and interest rates. It's like, stop investing in things you just have no clue what it's about.
Yeah.
Be smart with your money and save that money.
Yeah, I agree. Especially today, with things being so expensive, for you to be just throwing your money out there like that on things that you don't really have much information, it's not a smart move.
Cash is king, baby.
Yep.
So here, I want to show you another thing right now. So you're familiar with the Fear Greed Index? A year ago, people were very greedy. How do I know they're greedy? They're investing in fucking NFT egg hatchings.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're at a time where people are in between extreme fear and just basic vanilla old fear. Okay? A year ago, what happens right now is extreme fear, greed, extreme fear. Essentially, this is investor sentiment, and it basically judges equities. Can you scroll down a little bit? On how people feel that the market is doing. Right now, people are very fearful.
Right.
Banks are closing. Inflation is insane right now. Okay? We're seeing what's happening in the economy, mortgage rates, interest rates. Jerome Powell basically keep raising the interest rates, keep scrolling down a little bit. Very fearful right now. But if you have money, here's the lesson here, guys. If you have money, if you save money, Warren Buffett has once said, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. So right now, if you have money, a lot of things are on sale right now.
Yeah.
Crypto's on sale right now. Assets are on sale. Real estate in some capacity is on sale. Interest rates are very high right now. So it's not exactly a great time to be taking out money and borrowing money. But if you play it right, you understand the basic premise of money and understanding to be greedy when people are fearful, you can capitalize on what's happening in the marketplace. A lot of things are on sale right now. But when you were practicing, when you were being fearful, when people are being greedy, you were able to save that money, not invest in NFT eggs,
Right.
try to get rich quick schemes, and hopefully you're better on the other side.
Yeah.
So this is just sort of basic money advice of understanding what's going on out there. And a word to the wise, if you ever make money on crypto, if you ever do, sell it and turn it into a hard asset. That's what I would recommend.
There you go.
Okay. Last story here, and then we'll bring in our friend Olivia. So I want to spend a second and talk about our friend Tate. So quick update on Tate. 2 stories right now. Did you hear what happened in jail the other day with Tate?
Tell me.
Go to that other story if you can. So apparently he's in jail. The other story, sorry, apologize. You were already on it. You're the first story. So Tate, he's in jail. He's in the laundry room, and quote unquote 3 mortals tried to intimidate him and run up on him in the laundry room. Now, allegedly, he put his hand out like this. He clicked his fingers in some sort of way, and he asked them if they knew the secrets to yoga fire. Okay? Now, if Andrew Tate in jail does some sort of hand movement, former kickbox champion, badass dude, says, do you know the secrets to yoga fire? Maybe those guys said, you know what? I don't want to learn these secrets. I don't want to know what this is. If you're some random dude on the street and you say, I know about yoga fire, ain't nobody going to be intimidated by your yoga moves, buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe you know jujitsu, taekwondo, tai chi, certain stuff, UFC, wrestling, grappling. Only Andrew Tate's can intimidate people with yoga.
Yeah.
So
it's a little.
The secrets to yoga fire. Apparently, he's in jail, spending most of his days doing 500 squats and 500 push-ups. We recently had his attorney on the PBD podcast. Pat interviewed her. She still stands by the fact that he's innocent. It is absolute bullshit what is happening right now with the charges. We actually got breaking news right now as the start of this show. Andrew Tate, the other story right there, if you can. Andrew Tate on Instagram. Was denied bail in court today. That was yesterday. Tristan Tate just went to jail today. He was also denied bail. This is becoming a sham. We're seeing what a sham looks like in real life. He has not been charged with a full-on crime, allegedly sex trafficking, but everyone is basically saying that these are sort of trumped-up charges.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you live in a corrupt country and you're held without actual real charges being happened. Andrew Tate has been denied bail today by a Romanian judge who has ruled he must remain behind bars on sex trafficking charges. Tate, 36, was arrested on December 29th, right before New Year's, along with his brother Tristan, on suspicion of human trafficking. Last month, he lost an appeal against a judge. February 21st, decision that extends his arrest for 30 more days. You guys let me know.
Yeah.
Is this effing BS? Or is this like, hey, this is kind of how the system works, I guess, in Romania? Go to the next picture if you can on that slide. All right, so there's Tate and his brother Tristan, denied bail once again. So I said, do I think this is bullshit? Do I stand for this? I believe in law and order. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in innocent until proven guilty. He's just held without bail, not charged or not convicted of anything, okay? Has not stand trial yet, just in jail.
Yeah.
Okay? So I got an email the other day, and I want to actually do something to maybe help the Tates from afar. I got an email, and I'll read the email, and then we'll put up the link. Here's the email. This is from Stephanie Lambert. Okay. She says this. Okay. She says, hi, Adam. Let's pull up the article while I'm doing this. Hi, Adam. My name is Stephanie. I'm a big fan of yours, including Pat and the PBD team and Valuetainment. I wanted to bring to your attention a peaceful protest that is being planned for Andrew and Tristan Tate on April 10th in front of the Romanian embassy in D.C. and in London. The protest is focused on the Tate brothers' human rights violation while being detained in Romania for 2 months now without any charges. Okay, the protest is currently in the planning phase with more possible locations in the West Coast and Australia. While he is a controversial figure, which I understand, I am a mother of 2 young boys, and a lot of Andrew's message resonates with me, especially regarding young men should be able to work hard both physically and mentally. If it is no inconvenience to you, may I ask, can you please use your platform to help spread the word regarding this protest?
Wow.
Here's the official website, tateprotest.com. All the best, Stephanie. So, Stephanie, you asked for it. You got it. We're talking about this only because it deserves our attention. We can't just stand here, whether you agree with Tate or not. This is a human rights violation. These dudes are sitting rotten in a goddamn jail cell with no charges in corrupt AF Romania. So here's the thing, is a peaceful protest in Miami? Hold on.
Miami
London,
to
April
London.
11th. Let's find out those dates. If you're interested in being a part of this protest, go to tateprotest.com. There's going to be worldwide protests at embassies throughout the world, and there'll be dates, times, and descriptions of what is happening. If you are a fan of Tate, or if you're a fan of justice overall, go onto this website, tateprotest.com, and see what you can do to help. Okay, again, if you don't like Tate and you don't agree with Tate, but you also say, I don't agree that somebody should be locked up, then go ahead and help the Tates out right here. If you're a fan of Tate, get onto this website and see what you can do. Anyway, respect to this lady, Stephanie, right now.
Respect.
Female mother of 2 supporting Tate. And as she said right here, I understand that he is a controversial figure, but as a mother of 2 young boys, a lot of Andrew's message resonates with me, especially regarding young men should be able to work hard both physically and mentally. Guys, respect to Stephanie.
Respect.
Okay, are you kidding me? So put the link up there right now, and let's see what we can do to help out our friends, the Tates.
Yep.
Crazy situation, what's going on right there. Before we do our happy ending and our final segment, before we bring in Olivia, why don't we do some super chats real quick? Let's see what's going on out there. We'll answer any questions, then we'll bring in Olivia, and then we'll wrap up.
Alrighty, so we've got this one. I should read our poll. I think it was. Where's the poll? Do you have
It
the poll
was
percentages?
76% said yes, you should have Rollo back, and 73% said Rollo back, 26% said no.
Said no.
All right.
And then we have Beaten Cheeks. He said, "Don't bring George W. Miller, aka Rollo." Then we have Adari Arias. Keep up the great job. We appreciate you. We got Hungry Boy 1 celebrating your first super chat. We appreciate you.
Scroll down.
He said CoffeeZilla also covered Andrew Tate. Get all the details as well.
Okay.
And let me see if I have any more chats. Okay, cool. That's it for the super chats. Thank you all for those chats. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, like, put your bell on. We've got some announcements to be announcing. And let's go on to our lovely surprise.
Nice.
Yes.
Speaking of happy ending, let's get to a very, very happy ending right now. Let's play basically what we're doing this weekend. We're going to an event. Valuetainment will be there. Model Volleyball in Miami. If you are in South Florida, in the Florida area, this is not an event you want to miss. It's the sexiest event on the planet. And Valuetainment will be there interviewing all the models, celebrities, influencers, and maybe even you. Come by the booth.
Yes.
So my friend Olivia Ormos puts this event on, as well as my friend Michael Malone, Skylar Hausworth. So we will be there, Valuetainment in full effect, covering the sexiest event on the planet. And right now we're going to do a quick little interview with Olivia to see what's going on this weekend. Okay. Olivia, are you with me? Can we get some audio?
There we go.
Olivia, you there?
I'm here.
Yay.
Olivia Ormos in the house, the founder of Model Volleyball, going on this weekend in Miami Beach. Olivia, we just gave a little intro. We showed a little B-roll of what's going on. So tell us, what is Model Volleyball and how this whole event got started?
Of course. Well, excited to chat with you, Adam. It's been a crazy week so far, but very much looking forward to the weekend. So what is Model Volleyball? For those of you who have never been, maybe never heard of it, maybe you've seen a random Instagram post, but essentially it has been running for the past 13 years on Miami Beach. It's a free event. It's open to the public. We usually get about a 15,000 or so spectators across the course of the weekend. The event runs from 12 to 8 p.m. and we are right on the ocean on 11th and Oceanfront. Everybody is welcome. We have 2 big volleyball courts where the modeling agencies that we've invited to come battle it out for those 2 days. So the way that it works is not just every model that shows up can play. It's essentially an invitational to those modeling agencies, and then they build their teams of models that belong to those agencies, male and female, and then they play in this 2-day double elimination tournament right on the beach.
Awesome.
Wow.
So, look, I could talk about the models all day long, but I actually want to talk a little bit of business for right now. So this is your 13th anniversary. Happy bat mitzvah. Respect to you, Liv. You're an entrepreneur. You're a businesswoman. You're a CEO. Some people call you CEOO because your name is Olivia Ormos. We have a massive audience of entrepreneurs, people who have started business, are starting businesses, are trying to get better with their money, trying to manage their money better, just be smarter, better, wealthier, wiser, all that and then some. So you've been doing this 13 years. Tell us from the infancy stages, the planning, the idea, the creative process, to 13 years later, some of the best things you've learned being an entrepreneur.
Well, when it pertains to model volleyball specifically, we started this event in 2010, and the first event was really small. We probably had like 600 people. It took place at Nikki Beach. We had a couple agencies, and from there, it just each and every year got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think some of the things that when I look back and say, like, maybe why have we been able to continue this for 13 years? I think the support comes from different avenues. I think from an entrepreneurship, in the beginning, a lot of people really tried to just not give us any money for sponsorship. And everybody was like, oh, we'll just give you product. We'll give you product. And we said no from the beginning, which I think is really rare. Where other events maybe are like, yeah, I'll take that tequila and I'll take that. We need that. We need that. We really stayed true to our roots when it came to wanting to make sure, because this is a sponsorship revenue driven event and we don't charge admission or sell tickets. It was important for us that we, set that tone from the beginning. And it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And we knew that if we said, we're going to charge you, X amount and you X amount, it was going to come back to kind of bite us in that sense. So I think, from a sponsorship revenue standpoint, that's one of the things we kind of implanted from the beginning. I think, the support from the agencies, there's nothing else like model volleyball. So ingraining that relationship of trust is also, I think, a big reason why we've been able to continuously have their sport every year and put them, in the best light possible to showcase their models, their brand, their agency, network, meet people, invite their hospitality guests. A big thank you also every year goes to the city of Miami Beach because we do this on public property. So maintaining relationship there. So I think relationships overall. I also think in the beginning stages, we wanted media, right? Just like you guys, our media partner this year. So we went after, folks like iHeartRadio, which is still a partner of ours, Shape Magazine, Snapchat. And that's where we really structured barter deals with, where we were able to leverage those barter deliverables to put into our sponsorship packages. So that was really helpful. And it was a win-win where we let them kind of show up at the event, build an activation. So that was where trade, I think, really was, super important and came in.
So 13 years of doing this, one of the most famous videos that we've ever done, or that our CEO, Patrick Bet-David, has ever done, is the life of an entrepreneur. And it's sort of the iceberg effect. You only see the top of the iceberg, which is the success. You don't see basically 90% of the iceberg, the bulk of the iceberg, which is the hard work, the late nights, the perseverance, the people saying no, just the grind, the hustle, the late nights, all that. So if you would enlighten us, 13 years, give us like the moment where you're like, oh my God, I think I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. This is insane. I think I'm going to pack it in. And then also give like the most pinch me moment. I can't believe we pulled this off. We did it moment, right? So the good, the bad, the ugly, if you will.
I think right now, being that we're 2 days away is usually the most chaotic, where I want to be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Mexico. Like I'm running off with the money. Like nobody call me anymore. Because, you're balancing a lot. You're balancing sponsors, talent, vendors, city. There's a lot of people that call you all day long. So I think patience this week is the biggest. I think the biggest moment where I think myself and our team and partners are the most proud is when you kind of just get there and stand on that stage and take a deep breath and see that it's all come together. It's all worth it. It always is. You see everybody, smiling, dancing, whether it's, your parents that come, whether it's the random guy that, showed up that doesn't live in Miami, or the local, or even kids. I think it all, for me, at least in that moment, is super special. And I think my second favorite moment is the championship point, and how you really see these agencies like fight until the last point, like so hard to win these bragging rights. And it means so much to them. So seeing it mean so much to the agencies for sure makes it even more special for me.
Sick. Wow. So my friend over here, Natalia's got a question for you.
Hi, nice to meet you virtually so far. I did have a question. When it came down to like making a decision of what you wanted to come up with as a career in an event, what was your initial inspo? Like, did you come from a volleyball background? Were you in a place of like, I want to do something different? Like, what was the like turning point for you to put this huge event together and get all these sponsors and put in all that work for it?
Yeah, so I went to school, thankfully, for, PR and marketing. And while I was in college, I had a lot of real life experiences. So I worked every spring break. I worked every winter break. I was just excited for anybody who wanted to teach me something and be by their side to learn. Like that was most important for me. So I think I was fortunate enough to be in that position super early, where I didn't wait until I was out of school. And I did have a passion for volleyball.
Okay.
Specifically, I played in high school and played for fun while I was in school, University of Florida.
Nice.
Go Gators.
Nice.
So I think I always had that like entrepreneurial spirit. I knew I always wanted to be, somebody that ran my own business and came up with my own ideas and brought things to life. I knew it would bring me, joy. It was a big passion of mine that I realized, when I was, 20 years old, still in school. So
you know what they say about Gators, right?
Specifically Model Volleyball.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if there was like a specific moment. It was so long ago, but volleyball is not the only thing I do. I run like a full agency with a team of 11 people that are, we're doing everything from social media, content creation, branding, influencer marketing. And then I just recently launched my own influencer platform, an app called Maven, that will also be activating a Model Volleyball. So I think a lot of what I've done has flowed together. The three businesses I have now between Model Volleyball, OO & Co, my agency, and the app all really work together. Nice. It's a real three-peat that I have kind of going on. And I think, I would have never created Maven had I not created the agency, and potentially I would have never had the agency where I'm at without Model Volleyball, which has been a huge anchor of mine. So, building upon and continuously evolving as my industry evolves, I think is what's top of mind for me as an entrepreneur.
Wow. Love that.
You know what they say about Gators, right?
What, Adam?
If you ain't a Gator, Liv, you
Gator
Gator bait. Shout out to my University of Florida friends. Liv, last question for you, babe.
Yes.
And it really comes down to what's happening this weekend and who we're going to see.
Yeah.
So I just jotted down some names that I've met, interviewed, and kicked it with over the last handful of years. So Vince Vaughn, right? Jamie Foxx, Brody Jenner, Travis Scott performed, Rob Gronkowski, our good friend Chris Humphries, Sway Lee, Flo Rida, certain models have been there, famous models, Nina Agdal, the list goes on and on and on. So give us a little preview of who's going to be there this week and what we can expect to see.
Most of those names are never planned that you just named, which is the most exciting thing I think about our event is that, last year Vince Vaughn was on a walk and kind of just was exercising and ran into our event. And wow. I remember all of us just being like, what is Vince Vaughn doing here? Like, this is so strange. And he ended up going home, taking a shower and coming back and having the best time. And we were so happy that, he obviously was on that walk, but it's happened over the years with people like, Calvin Klein and Bruce Weber, a very famous photographer. So we're excited that that still kind of lives on where people just kind of show up, which happens every year. But Brody Jenner, courtesy of his partnership with Mamitas, will be headlining for a return DJ set. He was part of the event last year as well. So if that says anything, he's back for another year. Closing out the event from 6 to 8. But, I think the one thing, and kind of maybe this goes back to the entrepreneurship, started to pivot on you guys a little bit, but a friend of mine who ran big festivals, 10 years ago told us, whatever you do, don't book talent. Do not put a celebrity name on the Model Volleyball brand. And we kept saying, like, what do you mean? Like, we need to have whatever. We need to have these people coming every year. I need to have a name saying, and he goes, no, you don't want anybody ever to ask who's performing at Model Volleyball. Should we go? You come to Model Volleyball because it's Model Volleyball, and we are the celebrity, and we are the ones that show you the good time. We're the host. We're the performers. We kind of make sure that the day is really, amazing for everybody, whether it's the spectators, the people that are, showing up for the first time, the sponsors, the models, you name it. So I think the celebrity stuff is a bonus. Model Volleyball as a brand is just such a good time. And there's nowhere else in the whole world you can experience this exact event, where you can go to a million music festivals, see a lot of the same DJs, a lot of the same, performances, singers, rappers, whatever not. But at Model Volleyball, it's just a very unique vibe that you get when you show up.
That's sick. Don't book the celebrities. Yeah. Basically, what you're saying is like the old Field of Dreams quote: if you build it, they will come. And you don't know who's going to show up.
Fortunate that people still show up. It's amazing. And we're so grateful that people still love this event as much as, myself and my partners do. But when it comes to the celebrities, like very much so, like Sway Lee just walked up last year and grabbed the trophy that I've got here behind me and said, I want to give it to the winners, and handed it to them. That happened a few years before that with Reggie Bush. So it's just, nobody's too good for anybody. Everybody's embracing each other, and it's all about community for us and bringing, the city together in a really, thoughtful, fun, good energy type of way. And we also have an amazing foundation involved called the Angel Watching Over Me Foundation that I want to make sure I mention. And part of the proceeds of this event benefit, boots on the ground efforts for underprivileged youth here in Miami.
That's right. AWOM, Sarah Akiba, my girl.
I love that.
I was her teacher at one point. Now I'm dating myself. I'm old as shit. All right. Well, as you can see, it's not just a sexy event. It's a business. There's entrepreneurs that are putting this whole event together. It took 13 years to get to this point, and look at it, it's better than ever. Yeah. And Livia, proud of you. Thank you for all the information, the insight. For those of you that are in South Florida this weekend, where can they go? Is there a website, socials? Where can you drive people to learn more about this?
Of course. So we are Model Volleyball on all channels. So modelvolleyball.com, Model Volleyball on Instagram. We are going to be taking place on 11th and Oceanfront. So right on the water between 11th and 12th Street. You'll be able to find us. You can't miss it. There's a lot of other events happening on the beach this weekend too. So encouraging everybody to just come out to Miami Beach and have a great time.
Guys, I know you probably don't want to come vacation in March in Miami, and it just sounds miserable, and I get it. Models frolicking in the fun and the sun and playing games and celebrities sounds miserable. But if you want to have a miserable time, come join us this weekend at Model Volleyball.
Yes.
And have the worst wink wink time of your life. Of course, I'm joking. It's going to be a ball. And Olivia Ormos, thank you so much to my friend for joining us today and putting this event together. And I will see you this weekend at Model Volleyball.
Woo! Yes, Carol Model Volleyball presented by Celsius. We will see you there.
Awesome. Thanks, Liv. Talk to you soon. Awesome. Thanks, George. You cut that. I'm excited for the event. She just pumped it up a little bit. I learned the lesson. You don't book the talent. The event is the show, and if the talent shows, the talent shows.
I kind of like that. I think that it actually correlates with our book of the month we had, which was Unreasonable Hospitality. Yeah. And that book was all about the hospitality you provide for others. And I think this is probably a great example of, they want to come, take care of you, and let the people come, and we will take care of you. So I like that. I think there's a lot of strength in that. You don't go for a specific name, you go for the experience. So I'm excited. It should be a great experience. You get to meet everybody, the models, celebrities, Sauce, me, Valuetainment. Gotta come see us, spend some time with us. And yeah, let's go to the beach.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So that's this weekend. Any other chats that we got to get to before we wrap up? And then we'll call it a day.
All good to go.
Okay, cool. So stay tuned. This weekend, Model Volleyball. In the next coming weeks, we're going to be announcing a live Soscast event where you can come meet some of the people that we interview, the panelists that we have, people in the Manosphere community, Red Pill community, the Blue Pill community, the financial community, the models that we bring on, the OnlyFans girls that we bring on, all that and above. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We're announcing a live Soscast in the coming weeks. And then following that will be a live PBD event, which we'll be doing again. Announcement on that coming soon. Appreciate you guys all joining us for this episode of Soscast, where Soz and Nat do our thing. Thank you to the lovely and sweet
Kelly
Kells out there. Thank you, Angel, out there for putting this together. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we do this every single week here on VT Money /Soscast. And enjoy the weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And don't be fearful. Be greedy, or be greedy when people are fearful. And save that money. We'll see you guys next time. And we'll see you this weekend at Model Volleyball. We out.